Okay. It's Monday, November 3rd. 6:08 in the morning. Just got up at 3:30 and did my 4 o'clock lift, 5 o'clock run. Starting this week off right. It's really important to hit the ground running. Oh man. What a great weekend. Amazing weekend. Boy, when things are good, you gotta celebrate it. When things are good, you gotta celebrate that shit. Oh, such a good weekend. Halloween was so much fun. Me and my kids went, well, me and my oldest daughter, we went down to my cousin's house on my dad's side, and we had to park up the street a little bit because it was pretty busy. And as we're walking down, we get closer to this house, and it's like flooded with people, and we're like, oh man, this is crazy. And as we get closer, we're like, oh, that's the house that we're going to. And as we're walking in, it's kind of dark, it's kind of hard to see people, and some people start recognizing me. Cousin, hey cousin, what's going on? People are genuinely happy to see me. My family. It's a really good feeling. And it hits different when it's your actual blood. Not to take anything away from my adopted family or any of those people, but when you grew up without any of that stuff and you've always felt like an outsider and never fit anywhere, boy, the way you fit with your people, that shit hits. Hits hard. Hits like home, a feeling that I've never really had. So the healing energy of just being around these people is amazing. And it's really crazy to have my oldest daughter, who's becoming more aware of my struggles and my experience as a person. She gets to grow up with culture. This little sign right here behind me, she made for her Dia de los Muertos Spanish project. She gets to really embrace our culture and her culture at an early age, where for me it was always an abstract thing and something that I knew it was mine, but I never really allowed myself to feel that connection. It hurt too much. So now to feel it, it feels good. Feels really good to share that with her and with my other kids. And being around my dad's family is just really amazing. It's really interesting to meet somebody through other people. I've only got to meet my father through my sister and through his brothers and through his nieces and nephews and cousins and sisters and his parents. And we actually buried his dad not too long ago. And, while I didn't really know him very well, I still went to the funeral. I still showed up. It's really important to show up, even if you're uncomfortable, even if you don't know people that much. Like, it's really important to show up for your family when they're grieving. And so I think that me showing my face meant a lot. And then I think for a lot of them, it's just powerful because I look so much like my dad. And I guess these people really loved him. You can feel that in the way that they received me. Like, they received me through him. And, they're all happy. Like, many of them happy to see me and dapping me up. And at one point I was sitting there with my uncle, my dad's brother, and just talking to him. And it's just the craziest thing to talk to somebody who shares all the same DNA as your parent. It's the craziest thing. And he's just chatting me up, and we're talking about this and that, and how's everything going, and making plans for the future. And it's just like something so small, but it just means so much, and my daughter got to witness that, and even she, takes note of just how crazy that is. So many people they really take their experience on this earth for granted. Like, if you grew up with your biological parents and you've always had them around for better or for worse, like, and you've known them your entire life, like, people take that for granted so much, like how powerful that is. And when you're deprived of that your whole life, and then you finally gain pieces of that, it's really powerful, very healing. And my cousins are inviting me inside to take shots with them, and offering me food. And it's important to show up with food and make an offering. And I go inside and I'm taking shots with my cousins, and I'm looking at their ofrenda, seeing the pictures of my dad. I could just feel his spirit so strongly, so present with me the whole night. Um, it's just incredibly powerful, incredibly healing, and I'm so grateful to have that experience. And Saturday was such a fun day, just hanging out with my girls. Quinn stayed with her mom on Friday and did Halloween, and Penny went with her mom and did Halloween. So we each got a kid to spend Halloween with, which is really fun. And I love having all my girls at the same time, but man, it's hard. It's so hard to have three kids by yourself at one time. It's hard to give them all the energy and love that they deserve. So it's really nice to be able to kind of split it up sometimes. And Saturday, I'm hanging out with them, and we're just lazying around. They're eating candy. We're like, my oldest daughter slept downstairs. She usually sleeps upstairs with her mom at the other apartment, but um, she was sleeping downstairs with me and Penny on Friday night and Saturday. So she woke up there, and we're all just hanging out on the couch. I was able to get up and do some running, and actually, no, I didn't run until Sunday. I was a fatty on Saturday. But anyways, we're just hanging out. It's really nice. And then we're like watching movies, and we're watching Men in Black for the first time. They never saw Men in Black, so we watched the first Men in Black and the second one. And those are pretty pivotal movies from the 2000s. It's pretty fun to experience that with them. We all went out to breakfast, me and them, and then we went up to Desert Ridge. We're hanging out. They were doing a little bit of shopping. I was watching some Saturday football, college football, on the big outdoor screen they have out there, which is such a vibe, just chilling. And then we went and picked up Quinn. Oh, and that's when I ran. I ran later in the day. I've just been feeling so out of shape. Like, I need to get my blood moving. So I was doing that, and then you're just hanging out with them all night, watching movies together. What did we watch? We watched School of Rock. Yeah, that was such a great movie. Jack Black is such a fucking ham. Love that guy. But that's a great movie. I try to inspire that in my kids, that love of music, and you know being a little punk rock. You know. And then on yesterday it was amazing. Panthers beat the Packers. That was a hell of a game. I had the instinct to start Joe Flacco on my fantasy team. He was dropping a number of touchdowns. He scored like 30 points. It's good when you're tapped in. It's nice to be sitting at the bar drinking a cold beer after running, getting up and running, going. That's like my Sunday rituals. Get up, work out, then I'll go watch football, have a nice cold beer. I try to limit my alcohol these days. I quit smoking weed, so I really don't do much of anything anymore. just been nice. It's been nice to get level-headed and focused and clear-eyed and be present with things. Um, Feeling like I've been growing up lately, which has been good. So Sunday was so much fun. Football, tons of great football. Watching my fantasy team go off. Um, Panthers, man, that was one hell of a game. So you gotta enjoy that shit, because I like to watch all the post game pressers and all the podcasters, and so for them this whole week, the people will be talking about the Panthers winning, which will be a nice feeling after getting destroyed by the Bills last week. Then I went and got a haircut, and just feeling good, man. Feeling good. Watched a little Seahawks Commanders, um, which is fun. Just been feeling really tied into everything and just enjoying this weekend. Such a good feeling to then get up today and get after it. Um, and I've been thinking a lot about community, like my community, and it's really strange to be on the outside of the Hispanic community. Like I feel like little by little I'm inching my way in, but I'm not sure if I'll ever be completely accepted or feel that tie like I maybe should. I always have felt, and this might sound a little crazy, but I've always felt really, really connected to the Black community. They, as I've said in some videos before, those are the communities that really took me in, that really made me feel like seen, valued, um, you know, just such powerful, strong people. And I've been thinking about it, and I'm just like, man, like, why do I feel so attached to Blackness? Like, yeah, there were some families that took me in, but it wasn't like every Black person ever was like ride or die for me. I'm trying to try to put my finger on it. And as some of you probably know, I was adopted, but what you might not know is I have four siblings who were all adopted as well. I have a Colombian brother, a Guatemalan sister, a Spanish slash Mexican sister, and then I have a Black sister, my sister Becky. And she's, out of all my siblings, she's always been the one I've been closest to. Um, Not because she's Black, but something about our personalities. I mean, she's a Taurus, I'm a Pisces. We just get along. If you know anything about Taurus and Pisces, we just vibe hard. But because I've always resonated with the colored communities and the struggle of black communities, I've always had such a heart for her. And when I was younger, my adopted father, he would only take out the oldest three. Whenever he would come around, every once a year or every 2 years or whatever, when he would come around, he would take the three older kids out to buy us presents and buy our love, basically. And he was just racist. I mean, he still is, and he would just say the N word, and he would just talk shit about like Black people. And I'm just like, dude, my sister is Black. Like, one of your daughters is Black. Like, how the fuck can you say these things? And it bothers me even today. Maybe that's partially why I don't know that I'm really tied into the Hispanic community, because there's a lot of racists from the Mexican and Hispanic communities towards Black people. Obviously not everybody, but it definitely happens. And I'm just like, we are so much more alike than we are different. Like, our struggle is so much more similar, you know, and the Black community has done so much for the Black and brown, for the Hispanic and Indigenous communities. They've really held the line for human rights for us. And we are so twisted, and we try to align ourselves with whiteness so we can be seen as not Black. And it kind of disgusts me, to be honest, to use Black people as a scapegoat, to try to align ourselves with whiteness to be seen as the in crowd. And you see it with the Hispanic community voting for Trump. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Hating on a Black woman. And I don't know. It's a strange thing to reconcile, but I was just thinking about that, and I was just trying to like analyze and think for myself why it is I feel the way I do. But I've always protected my little sister. I've always cared deeply about her little heart and her experience. And I love all my sisters and brothers, but my sister Becky, she's really special to me, and she's shown up for me a number of times. And I just like I always get the nod from Hispanics, Latinos, whenever they see me, that they give me the nod because I got the team uniform. But when I see my black brothers and sisters, they give me the nod too, because like they know and I know and we know we know what it is in this country. And we need more unity. We need to respect each other and love each other and appreciate each other for everything we do. We're so similar. The music, like you go to a black gathering or a Hispanic gathering, and we're playing a lot of the same music. We're dancing to the same songs. We're eating a lot of the same foods. Not prepared exactly the same, but same general vibe. You know, big sports fans. And I'm not trying to sit here to disparage the white communities and the Asian communities. I love you guys too. Like I feel deeply tied to both of those as well. But in this video specifically, I wanted to just think a little bit about my experience with the black and brown tribes, and how I just wish we could band together a little bit more. Um, we really need each other in this country. We really need each other, and in fighting white supremacy, like they see us the same. Right now it's a lot of brown people being scooped up by ICE, but it's also black people being harassed by the police every day. Black people being lynched left and right. Brown women being disappeared. Indigenous women are more likely to disappear than any other type of people. We need to protect each other. There are serious forces of darkness that are successfully destroying our communities, and we have to stand up together. But I was feeling so good after this weekend, and just feeling so much love and connection and deep appreciation for all the wonderful people in my life. So I want to leave on that note. I want to end this on a note of appreciation and gratitude. We are stronger together. We're more similar than we are different. We're all each extensions of each other. And I'll always have brown pride, but I'll always feel black power. So on that note, I love you. Keep fighting. Peace.